Hello everyone, welcome back for my first Star Trek Discovery official Starships collection, featuring issue number 1, the USS Shenzhou NCC-1227, as seen on the new show Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access. Love it, like it, hate it, or dislike it. This is the first ship in any form to come out from that series, which launched about a few months ago. And as you can see, I have a magazine here and the ship in this humongous box, or larger than life box. But I'll get the ship aside and let's look at the magazine. Okay, so there it is, issue number 1 of the Star Trek Star Trek Discovery Starships collection, and featuring the Shenzhou. And as you can see, there's a nice image of the Shenzhou on the cover there. And you'll notice right off the bat that this magazine is smaller. It's not as big, or it's definitely not the size of the standard magazines like this one, but it is significantly smaller, almost the size of the shuttle ones that come in the shuttlecraft, but not quite as small. And this has a much more of a glossier feel than the other one does. So anyway, let's take a look. It is considered Walker class, launched in the 23rd century, 423 meters long. Turn the page, and the layout of the magazine so far seems to follow the same format as the normal Star Trek Starships collection. Got your table of contents and stand mounting guide here, and as well as your spec stuff here. Again, considered Walker class, affiliated by the Federation in the 23rd century, 423 meters long, and its captain is Philippa Georgiou. Turn the page here, and you have a nice, rather couple of cool images of the Shenzhou there. I believe the larger one is the same as the one on the cover. And you got a brief history about that, and you got the captain there, and more on that, and some diagrams or whatnot. And here is the designing of the Shenzhou, or Shenzhou, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Designed by John Eaves, a legendary Star Trek Starships designer. And more on that, complete with some conceptual artwork there. And this basically talks about his thought process and whatnot. And more on that, more conceptual artwork and rendering. And that concludes the magazine. Unlike the main magazines, this does not have an on-screen appearance page, though that may change in future issues, especially considering this is issue number 1. But for now, it looks like there is no on-screen appearance page, and it's only appeared in maybe a couple of episodes, the Battle of the Binary Stars, etc., etc. And it looks like next time, I believe, every 2 months or so, the next one we will get is the hero of them all, the Starship Discovery itself. So that ought to be cool. I guess that one will be highly sought after when that comes out. So yeah. And just like the other magazines, this has the image of the ship on the back there. So now, I bet you just can't wait to see the ship itself. So let's get right to it, shall we? Okay, so the first thing you'll notice that these ships appear to be just a little bit bigger than the normal collection. That was announced back when this collection was announced. And as you can see, the box and the box art is significantly different than the normal Star Trek Starships collection boxes and artwork. It's got of course, you have your ship here a picture of the ship here on the front. You got some different font for this. You got the Star Trek Discovery logo there, as well as the collection logo. And you got, in this case, an old style UFP logo, and the Discovery logo there. On the sides has the Discovery logo. Same as here on the front side, on the other side, and then the opposite side has a picture of the model with the with the logos there as well, and as well as all your other information down there at the bottom. So now let's open this thing up. Here we go. Eaglemoss does a good job of packaging and securing these larger ships. I wish the other models were this tightly packed. And there it is. All right. And there she is, the USS Shenzhou at long last. And I have to say, it's pretty impressive. Those of us on the Eaglemoss fan page on Facebook have seen different concepts of this and prototypes, and it looks pretty awesome. And I am so happy to actually have a model of this. Say what you will about the show itself, and I'm personally not a raving fan or a lunatic about it. It does have its problems, but for the most part, the ships are probably one of the better things about the show. And the model here is very detailed. Got the ship's registry there. The windows don't appear to be misaligned, which is a bloody miracle. Then again, they don't seem to be imprinted on there like on other ships. It's actually painted on there, which in my opinion is probably a better idea, because then it avoids the whole misalignment issue. You got Starfleet pendants where they're supposed to be. It's on the nacelle there, and Starfleet font registry down there. The camera won't make it out, but it's there. You can see the USS Shenzhou here on what appears to be the shuttle bay. And you got more font, and you got what looks like your deflector dish, complete with the needle in the style of the original series. And then, of course, your bridge is right here. You got more registry information down here, which is cool. And you got more Starfleet pendants here, which I think is a good thing. And overall, this is a fantastic model. Not bad for number one. And you got some Starfleet registry there, as well as on the other side. This ship it looks very much in the style of previous Star Trek ships, although this does not look like something from the TOS era. Interestingly enough, you can flip this over, and it almost has like a later Star Trek series ship feel to it, especially when you think the bridge is right here, which it actually is. So it actually doesn't look too bad like that, I think. But I can definitely see why they didn't go this route. But it still looks cool. It looks great. This is a fantastic first issue. This costs a little bit more than the average collection. The regular Starships collection is about $40 a month for 2 ships, give or take. This one will run you about maybe $49 or $50 for 1 ship. But as you can see, these are a little bit bigger, a little bit more detailed, and they come in nice boxes, nice packaging, which is a plus. And although storage of these things was going to be a pain, I can already see it. But the good news is, I guess, or maybe bad news depending on how you look at it, these ships will be sent out, I don't know, once every 2 months or something like that. So you actually feel like you have time to recover, especially with the other collection ongoing. It's still ongoing. My only probably disappointment is that the magazine is smaller. I hope they release a binder to fit those in, possibly in the future. But like I said, for this being the first issue, they did a pretty damn good job. Again, it's not my favorite ship in the world, but now that I have one in my hand, it's very much Star Trek. I just hope that the show actually takes it back to where it's supposed to be and its roots and all that. But that's a debate for another day. This ship looks really cool. no matter how you look at it. I personally like it like this. It has a very much of an ancestor to the NX-01, or a descendant of the NX-01, although that was more like this. And you can also see some what will in the future be the Reliant and other Starfleet ships. And interestingly enough, according to the magazine and even in the show itself, it's mentioned that this ship is a little old. So this is like an old bucket compared to the fleet. So, but yeah, it's a pretty nice model. If you're definitely getting into Discovery, I would highly recommend picking this up. Of course, if you're a Star Trek fan and if you just love ships in general, if ships is your thing, then definitely pick this up. It's definitely worth your time. It is highly sought after right now. A lot of people want this thing, and it's a bang up and awesome and amazing model. And I would highly suggest, if you can, pick it up. I believe I only paid $9.99. That's $9.99 for this because I subscribed to the collection. And again, I think they will be coming out every 2 months or something like that. So there's a little bit of a wait till you can kind of recover, especially if you're like a subscriber to the main collection, which I also do. So yeah, and of course it comes with a stand, so I will open this up. Sadly though, my stand does not have 1227 as the part number. That would have been cool if I did. It snaps into place like that. And the model is docked just like that. So that, my friends, is the USS Shenzhou, seen on Star Trek Discovery. This is issue number 1. Please go out and get it if you can. And if you have any questions about the model or comments or anything, please drop me a line down below. And as I get these ships in the future, I'll be more than happy and am very much excited to share them with you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you like what you're watching, and I'd really appreciate it. And oh, before I go, there's one other thing. The first issue came with this. It's not like it's an extra thing or anything. It's just like an advertisement basically, and it tells you about the collection. Got a couple of ships on the cover, kind of giving you an overview, I guess, of what is going to be in the collection, and kind of shows you some of the ships that are coming up in the near future there. So that's kind of cool. It's a nice little thing to pack it in there. And so yeah, that is the USS Shenzhou, issue number 1. Thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper.